All right, so we've got a follow-up to a couple stories. We reported on it last week, and I wanted to go a little deeper into the dive on what's actually going on in Missouri, because it's a little bit more than, oops, they fucked up the social equity program. I reported on our good friend, the pain in the ass, Mr. John Payne, previously. So I just want to give this update. So the Missouri Health Department is raising concerns over eligibility in the state's social equity marijuana licensing program amid allegations of exploitation. Recently, regulators denied certification for a significant number of licenses issued in a lottery, revealing that only about 25 out of 57 licensees from June were eligible. The department said licenses that are not certified as eligible are subject to revocation, and licenses now have 30 days to prove their eligibility to avoid losing their license. Any revoked licenses will be available in the next application round. Investigations by the Missouri Independent found that at least 14 of 24 dispensary licenses may be linked to groups previously flagged for using disadvantaged individuals as fronts. This raises questions about the integrity of a program designed to support smaller operators and those from disadvantaged backgrounds. John Payne, a prominent figure in the 2022 legalization campaign, is under scrutiny for his role in the system. Despite being white, he submitted over 300 social equity applications, winning 6 dispensary licenses in June. Concerns have been raised about contracts tied to his company that grant him and his partners 90.1% of profits, contradicting state requirements for majority ownership by eligible applicants. The health department has opened an investigation into 3 microbusiness licenses associated with Payne. Looking ahead, the state plans to issue at least 48 more microbusiness licenses in 2025, following a third round of applications. Meanwhile, there's been no update on State Auditor Scott Fitzpatrick's ongoing investigation into the oversight of Missouri's medical and recreational marijuana industries, launched last August. So the key word here is not that he's white, it's that 90.1% of profits. Social equity requires that the applicant make the majority. The social equity requirements say that they have to have essentially unilateral decision making. They maintain a certain amount of control, depending on what tiered license they are. For him to come in and write something that's completely contradictory is disgusting. It definitely is against everything that the program is supposed to stand for, and it's exposing holes in these programs once again, in that these regulators are willing to look into everything we did, what you ate for breakfast this morning and your firstborn child, but they're not regulating the requirements that they've actually set forth when it comes to protecting social equity applicants. So you guys know how I feel about this. I'm sure I'll scream about it more after somebody disagrees with me or says something crazy. Jason's going to say socialist equity, so we'll save him the time, and let's just roll through it.
It is socialist equity.
For breakfast this morning.
No, you didn't. He's at school.
So here's what I think is interesting. So we already know from the way that other entities have gamed the social equity policies and the systems that they are bifurcating between ownership and revenue share. And we've seen that time and time again for years in multiple programs. And so I don't think it's fair, and I don't think it conforms with the spirit of this program. And I wonder why, since this is a more recent program, they didn't put the kibosh on the ability for people to separate ownership versus rev share. And so when you're taking 91%, there is a world where you can say, look, we're going to put millions of dollars into this business until that money is paid back. We want to have a different division of top line revenue. I get that.
Not legal.
But I just don't understand why, if we've been seeing these systems gamed for years, they weren't able to put some teeth in place to be able to prevent this type of obvious attempt at a workaround.
Well, I mean, it's because these people are having straw agreements that are off to the side of whatever social equity share they've submitted to the licensing board, right? So it's about actually looking into where does the money go. I don't know. If you have a nonprofit, you have to provide a fiscal report every year. Why don't we require that of social equity licenses to see where the money's actually going, to see who's getting a division of these profits? These are easy things that are very small reporting requirements that could be done, right? Because I'm pulling those financial reports every month, every quarter when I'm filing our fucking taxes. I have these numbers. This is not difficult. And if 90% of my profits are going to John Payne's ass, then we got a problem, and his name is John Payne.
Mm-hmm.
John Payne.
Hold on.
And John Payne, I will actually.
I thought the problem these agreements to make sure that they actually conform with the spirit of it. There are some checks and balances that could be put in place with this program where they review those agreements between the applicant and the rest of the operators, and they go, no, this doesn't pass the sniff test. Back to the drawing board. And so we're seeing some of that in other places. It would be great if they had it in this place.
Well, they do, and that's what I'm saying, and that's what I was meaning about they're having the straw agreement off to the side, right? Because it happens in California, it happens everywhere. I spend a large portion of my my day every day getting people out of these fucking agreements. And I will go ahead and tell you that John Payne's group reached out to a bunch of my applicants because there's not a residency requirement there, right? So they was like, just come sign up and let's grab these licenses. So, and I won't talk about the people who went for it, but I don't work with them anymore. So yes, what they're giving to the state and what they're having audited is meeting regulatory requirements, but their actual division and their actual splits are on a contract that is never to be seen.
Do we know if the Joneses filed any applications in this round? Because we're trying to keep up with them too.
No, but right now we're talking about John Payne, who's done he's done a lot worse than 300 applications he submitted in one round. 300. And he actually got through on like 20 of those licenses.
But don't you think these programs could put a cap on the number of applications any one single individual could do? Like we can lament the person who is manipulating the system, but can't we come up with a system that's
they're not trying to stop the cap.
Stop the cap.
And like here's the issue. He's associated, but if his name's not on there, then we don't know that he's associated. I guarantee you there's more than 300 that win it. But everything is verified based on the individual social equity applicant, and they're looking at those names and they're not doing a deep enough dive to say, hey, this guy's funded all of them, allegedly.
Hey, Jenny Beth, is this the same guy that put out those Craigslist ads?
Yes. Yes.
The same ad, dude.
Craigslist.
This guy and the Jensens, man, they need their own reality show. Yeah. I swear.
This would be so good.
Somebody give him my number. I'd like to tell him a thing or two. So if you know John Payne from Missouri or wherever he's from, get me in fact, I'll get his number. I'll get it from the guy he asked to do the license stuff.
Can someone please bring the pain on?
John Payne.
I'm going to go get the belt, and I'm going to call John Payne.
Oh, man. Man. On that, we're going to go to a commercial. We're going to be right back.